I had taken my recruiting trip in October of 2010, and I was really taken back by the people on the team. I had chosen Michigan State because I could immediately tell that I was going to find, some of the best friends that I had ever met. The character that I had been able to deduce from even my recruiting trip was astronomical, especially compared to other recruiting trips that I had taken. There were some really good characters on that team, and that's what drew me in. And I feel like that ultimately made me a better person moving on. I knew that I would find within the coaches and the senior class. I went into college being sort of felt misguided or a little lost, a little off path, and within the team I had found a sense of self, and yeah.
Yeah, I want to echo that. I remember taking a trip to Michigan State as well a year after, and spending some time with Kyle and spending some time with the older guys, and doing all the things one does in a recruiting trip, and really getting a sense of purpose towards something, not only a sense of place for myself, but a sense of something higher than myself to be responsible to, and sort of having individual goals that gel with community goals. And I don't know, I immediately felt swept up in it, which is not a feeling that you experience a lot as a high school kid. High school sports are very much, you're kind of, as an elite athlete in high school, you're kind of on your own, and I felt very much a part of something, and that support was, in the pool, out of the pool, in the classroom, and eventually in the career placements, and obviously Kyle and I are neighbors now in California, so these things extend well past the 4 years that we spent at Michigan State.
Yeah, and speaking to academics, again, I went in completely just not knowing what I was doing, and I got great insight from everyone on the team, from Jeremy Flynn, especially Smith Center. They honestly gave me such a good springboard and launched me to a career. Speaking to especially Matt McNichols, who he taught me everything I knew at the time. He was a Michigan State alumni from maybe a decade prior. That the swimming and diving team is a family for sure. He showed me that. The team showed me that. Coaches showed me that. Everyone has everyone's best interest at heart.
Yeah. Actually, my first employment opportunity out of college, or actually it was an internship that I got in college that sort of blossomed into larger employment, was due to some philanthropic activity we did in Michigan with the team. I met a guy who shared a very similar experience to me, and we ended up working together for quite some time. And these opportunities, to work with the team and sort of go outside the bounds of just performing, and then using that same discipline that you bring to practice in the classroom in the professional life.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Yeah.
That's always been. I graduated packaging, and everywhere I've gone, that's always been a real head turner. Is number one packaging school, and then the varsity athlete background in swimming. People know that swimmers, they're tough, they're disciplined. They put in the work for
complex thinkers too.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. There's a lot of really intellectually curious and driven people on the swim team in different ways than you would expect. I think you probably understand that. Some really
intuitive thinkers.
Yeah.
Really out of the box thinkers. We were all really different from one another, but we all came together like that.
Even after we graduated, the younger kids that came after us, the class GPA just climbed and climbed and climbed to the point where
wasn't the CUME GPA 3.6 or 3.7 or something like that this year?
Yeah, I can't speak to exactly what it was, but it's head and shoulders above the other teams in the Big Ten. It's really, really impressive to train at the level that these kids do under the stress that they're at and perform like that. So I don't know, it blows me away.
Swimmers are a different breed. Year in, year out, they I guess we're the highest GPA.
Yeah.
Michigan State every single time.
Yeah, love to see it. Yeah, I mean the program. I can't imagine where my life would be at without it.
I honestly always joke to people that if I hadn't had the infrastructure given by swimming, I probably would have failed out of school, or I wouldn't have. I wasn't like the best school person to begin with, and without the discipline that I had learned from swimming, and without like the structure of the morning practice, afternoon practice, missed center time, tutors, et cetera, I probably wouldn't have had the career that I have today.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. You get to university and there's a lot of like an outpouring of like energy. You have a sense that you can put that energy anywhere, and is like sort of paralyzed by options or paralyzed by perceived opportunities. And when you have this goal that you can focus on with swimming, it just focuses everything and directs you, and then you still get to do all these wonderful things that you want to do, but with this like parallel achievement. It's, I don't know, it's an amazing accomplishment to have been a part of, and a great community.
It's actually crazy looking back at like every meet there's a goal, regardless of like big meet, small meet, there's like a best time, goal time, in season time, you know whatever it is,
the collective team goal as well. Yeah, there's always like, okay, we need to be cheering, we need to be stretching, we need to be like bring this level of energy, we need to win these 2 relays. But it's just like you get a sense of like how to organize groups of people and also organize your own life.
Yeah, agreed.
We love you guys. Hope everyone's doing well, and
go green.
Go green.